Hi everyone, this is Elias from Match Media, and today we're going to take a quick look around the 2024 Chevy Silverado, but this one's a little bit different. It's actually electric. Let's go ahead and get started. We get started in the front and we can see, yeah, this is a really cool, sleek design. That was actually one of the biggest things Chevy wanted to do, was to make this a sleek design to help with aerodynamics, which in turn help with efficiency of that EV power. Now, the other thing that I really love is, man, that light bar right there looks really, really good. And the headlights, just the front end looks really good. Another thing, they did shorten the front or the trunk or what they call the E-trunk. And it's actually a good thing, because one of the things that with the Silverado, the gas one, is that the trunk was a little bit on the longer side and visibility might not have been the best, but with this design, it definitely looks like it's a little bit easier to manage those views, especially on the corners of the front. Yeah, that color is also really good. Now, let's go ahead and see what we have under this trunk or front, yeah, E-trunk or hood. Yeah, it's the E-trunk. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so now we're gonna see what we have under this E-trunk. Yeah, there's no engine in there. Yes, obviously with this being an EV, we do have this opening in here. It's weird because you're used to seeing, you know, as someone that grew up with trucks that always have engines. Now, this is no longer there, but we do have the great space in here. Looks like you can fit a good size luggage in there, which makes for road trips really nice. But yeah, so definitely a nice little touch to have in there. Now, as far as what we should expect regarding the power plant on this, we are looking at over 660 horsepower with 780 pound-feet of torque with what they call their wide open watts mode. And we are looking at up to 400 miles of range. That's a lot. That's a good week's worth of driving. And the crazy thing is, if you need maybe about 100 miles more of charge, it's only going to take about 10 more minutes to charge. That's crazy. Yeah, you'll definitely plug it in and be ready to go in about a couple of songs or so that you're jamming inside. And yeah, you should be able to get going. Now let's take a look at those big wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and yeah, they didn't skimp out on size. We have a 24-inch wheel on this. That's insane. It is wrapped in a Michelin 275/50 tire. The weird thing is, typically you see EVs having smaller wheels and maybe not the best looking, but Chevy said, no, we're gonna go ahead and put a nice massive wheel on this and make it actually look good. So the other thing with this is it does have air suspension. It can go up 2 inches as well as 2 inches down. You know, make it easy to get in and out of. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see, yeah, this actually looks a lot like the Chevy Avalanche, which is a good thing. That was actually one of my favorite designs for a pickup truck. So I'm glad that Chevy brought this back, and I'm really loving the design. Again, that blue just looks so nice. Now, if we take a look at some of the proportions, like I said, that front hood area is actually going to be shorter than it was in normal Silverados, and which again makes visibility really easy in this truck. We have those massive 24-inch wheels, which we can see with this size truck. I thought it was going to be too much, but it actually looks really, really good. We have a nice side step on here to make getting in and out of the truck easy, which again, with that air suspension, makes it even easier to lower it down 2 inches to get in with no problem. The other thing, the rear, this actually has rear wheel steering, which, yeah, especially when you have a big truck like this, to get it into those tight spaces is always a big thing for me. And the fact that you have the rear steering makes this entry really, or the steering really easy to get into the tightest of spots. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in that back. We take a look at the back and we have my favorite. This tailgate is definitely the easiest and probably best in the market, because you have so many options of positioning it to be able to get into the bed without a problem. Now, the other thing with this back is those taillights. I love those taillights. Again, one of my favorite things is that new trend where the outer cover is transparent to give you a nice design element inside. And yeah, this Silverado definitely accomplished that. So definitely my favorite. And we still have those side steps, cutouts on the bumpers on both sides, which again makes getting into the truck bed really, really easy. Now let's talk some numbers. Now, normally when you have the Midgate, which is what Chevy is calling the Midgate, which is right behind the glass itself, when you have that closed and the tailgate closed, we have a maximum storage of 5 feet and 11 inches. But that gets larger. When you go ahead and open up the Midgate back there, you get just over 9 feet of really storage, which is great. And then when you open both and the open to load step, which is this little guy when it's lifted up, you get 10 feet and 10 inches. So yeah, you can probably put the largest of IKEA furniture in there without a problem. But yeah, this looks great. Well, let's go ahead and see some of the things inside. Well guys, there you have a quick look at the 2024 Chevy Silverado EV. Now, just a couple of bullet points. So this is the EVRST, which is going to be their first edition, and that will launch in fall 2023 as an exclusive fully loaded EV pickup. So be on the lookout for that. Now, if you don't want the luxury, but you want all the great other things about it, and you just want a more, work focused truck, you are going to have to wait till spring 2023, and that's going to be called the WT, or the work truck trim. And some of the different things with that one, it's not going to have the big 23-inch wheels that we saw with this. It still does have the 10 outlets of connection in it. It is going to have 510 horsepower, and so it's a little bit less and a little bit less torque, a little bit less towing, at 8,000 pounds of towing and 1,200 of payload. But it is still a very, very capable truck, even in the WT trim. Honestly, I don't know, maybe get a WT, to haul that little Miata project that we're working on. Should be a nice little touch. Well guys, hope you've enjoyed, again, this quick look at the Silverado EV, and remember, find the right gear. See ya.